I predicted Bo Nix would go to the Broncos, and I watched him play live twice, and I loved him when I watched him play Utah and Washington. So that he did well, it's a confirmation bias. But he received less two-tier votes than Caleb or Drake May. So is that telling me that GMs are telling you we love Sean Payton, or there are still people that think he's overachieving and he has a low ceiling?
Colin, it's like one fewer tier 2 vote than those guys. I've got no worry about how anyone's seeing him. I think they really like him. And one of the great quotes I put in there was, hey, the order of this class is not set. Jaden Daniels looks great, but this is going to be a referendum in the quarterback developing abilities of Cliff Kingsbury and Sean Payton as much as anything. So I think that's a very bold endorsement of Bo Nix. And for these guys that have only played a year, sometimes they get tier 4 votes. Not enough information is one of the sort of bailouts for that. So you got some people who haven't seen him or didn't see him enough or just want to see more. I think there's lots of optimism on Bo Nix. And like I said, even some who haven't set in stone what the order of this class is going to be, and they're allowing for the fact that maybe Bo Nix in a year is the one at the top.
Yeah. That, I love to hear this. It's just, I know I said this a lot. I live for it. I really do. The fact that Bo Nix is somehow a controversial figure in the NFL ecosystem and especially in sports talk, guys, I live for it. I love it. I really, really do. I mean, it just makes it fun. It just makes it fun, man. It really does. And Bo Nix has such an advantage, specifically because he's with Sean Payton and he's going to have the continuity of a great offensive head coach, where some of these other quarterbacks may not necessarily have that. Not even Drake May. Caleb Williams is already now on his next coach. Excuse me, as I sneeze on the truth. Jaden Daniels. I absolutely am mega high on Jaden Daniels, but Cliff Kingsbury will leave, and we have no idea who is going to be that offensive coach. Zero idea. None. That's going to affect things. As I always emphasize, coaching matters, coaching matters, coaching matters, coaching matters. And when you're looking at these other quarterbacks, you're like, all right, who's the offensive coordinator for Jared Goff? Who's going to be the offensive, for Baker Mayfield? Who the heck's the head coach for Dak Prescott? Right? The other quarterbacks that have an advantage are, and Jalen Hurts for that matter. He keeps getting a new OC every single year. Jordan Love has a continuity with Matt LaFleur. Brock Purdy has the continuity with Shanahan. Stafford, he's going to be gone in a year or two, so I don't even care about that. Josh Allen doesn't have the continuity with an offensive coordinator always. That's, dependent. Lamar Jackson maybe for now, but who knows? Patrick Mahomes obviously and Joe Burrow have the continuity, but Joe Burrow's head coach Taylor could be fired one day. Andy Reid's obviously not going to be fired. That's just obviously not going to happen. So he's at such an advantage there, a big advantage. And now some of the quarterbacks that may be chasing him from behind, you're like, all right, what do we have here? Sam Darnold playing for a defensive coach. Drake May playing for a defensive coach. Caleb Williams has his work cut out for him, no doubt. But you get the sense that there's a tighter runway, a shorter runway with the Chicago Bears than really saying, hey, we're going to give this kid 3 years to really figure this out. It's like, I don't know about that one. So, it's just, he's at such a massive advantage to be able to outrun the people behind him and to leapfrog the people in front of him. I mean, are we really going to act shocked if Bo Nix puts up, again, top 10 quarterback numbers like he already did? And this is what I actually really love to see, too. Dan Orlovsky did his quarterback rankings by character trait, by trait, and he's got all different ones: decision making with the football, mechanics, etc., etc. And Bo Nix is top 10 in decision making. And to be a top 10 for just making the decisions as a rookie quarterback, already showing that poise, massive. And his decision making is only going to improve and get better, and wait until you actually give him legitimate pieces to work with when he can be a lot more comfortable. And then the other mark that he was on top 10 for was second reaction ability, right? The ball is snapped, everything breaks down, the defense wins the play. What happens next? Can the quarterback still make something happen, even when the called play dead in the water? And this is what I've said, right? And hold on, I want to read this other part as well. These are the best of the best in off-schedule and off-platform throws, which often demand non-standard arm angles on the move. It's where a quarterback's creativity can really shine. And he sees him as top 10 already. And this is what I kept saying, where I'm just like, he reminds me of Josh Allen light. He's doing some of these things, and I find it wildly impressive. And I think now, Dan Orlovsky's downplaying his rushing ability. I actually think so significantly. I'm not so sure where you're going to 100% elevate a Brock Purdy or a Justin Herbert from a rushing ability over Bo Nix. I'm really not so sure. I'm not putting him in with Kyler Murray or Justin Fields or Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson, but I'm just not so sure. I'm just like, oh yeah, Brock Purdy's way more mobile and has a better rushing ability than Bo Nix. I'm like, I don't know about that. Bo Nix is strong, man. He's got a lot more power there. I mean, Bo Nix was already top 8 in rushing yards. Gotta mean something. So yeah, I think it's just a pretty exciting place to be, because there's actually room for development. He's with the right coach to continue to develop some of his core traits that are going to be a lot harder to develop. You can help a quarterback make better decisions, but we've seen plenty of quarterbacks over the years just like not be able to reliably do it or improve or make the right decisions when the moments really need them most. Sometimes you have to like kind of course correct and really just take the ball out of quarterback's hands, or just really minimize some of the damage there. A quarterback's typically not really going to grow and evolve from a physicality standpoint, right? It's just not necessarily a common thing here. Even a reaction, second reaction to a play, like, I think a coach can really help you give the solutions. Like I talk about that a lot. Most of the time I look to the coordinator first to be like, are you helping your quarterback find the resolution to this problem? But in those moments that he doesn't have the answer, which is, I think, honestly, which is what Dan Orlovsky was focusing on more. That's why he was really talking about kind of like, these are a lot of these off the script. Like, this is just like, everything's just collapsing around you. You have the ball in your hands. You have like a split second to think, like, what can you do there? And that now is a lot harder for then the OC to be able to offer the solutions in those moments. I'm thinking more of like when there's just pressure bearing down on you, and it's just, how to find your way through this. This is just when, like, oh man, this is just, I don't know. Please just try your best to do something. And in a lot of ways, you kind of have it or you don't, because it's so instinctual. It's power, it's strength, it's your ability to remain calm under, arguably the most intense circumstance that a quarterback can deal with. It's just like the spotlight is on you as bright as it can be, and it's just like, what can you do in this moment? And do you make that mistake? And Bo Nix, more often than not, made the right, I don't want to say that he made the right play necessarily, but he didn't make the wrong play. And he avoided the sacks, and he had, which I always highlight, that he had such a great pressure to sack percentage, and he minimized his turnovers in those moments. And it matters to me. It really does. It really does. Like when Bo Nix was under pressure, like I said, he threw 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So it's not this outrageous, amazing thing, right? The other quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, etc., etc. but he still minimized his damage. For a rookie, only throwing 5 interceptions when under pressure, when things aren't going exactly according to plan, he limited it, right? Patrick Mahomes had 4 interceptions. Jared Goff had 7 interceptions. Josh Allen had 3. Like he was within range. And when you have some of these other quarterbacks that were like not doing too well, 13 interceptions for Geno Smith when under pressure. 10 interceptions for Kirk Cousins. 7 interceptions for Kyler Murray. None other than Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So again, I don't want to pretend like this was this massive home run or proof how well he does under pressure, but he limited the damage. He limited the damage significantly. And that's what I can greatly appreciate. That's what I can appreciate. When under pressure, he was bottom in the NFL, so in a positive, in turnover-worthy plays. He had 6 turnover-worthy plays when under pressure. Okay? And all these other guys had more. Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield. When you're a rookie and you're doing that, I find that very, very, very impressive. Incredibly impressive. And he didn't try to do too much. He didn't try to do too much in any given moment. And, like I said, I appreciate that. It's smart decision making this early in your career and with the offense and the pieces that you have around. So that, again, to me goes a pretty long way for year one. So I'm excited to continue to see this thing evolve, continue to see how he expands his game. When he starts to strategically take more chances, be more aggressive, be more assertive, just having continue to have a well-balanced approach to the game in any given moment. And I think when you're already showing yourself to be a great decision maker, when you start to add tools to the toolbox, when you start to add different approaches, trusting his ability to be able to balance this all out, it's just you're not going to overwhelm him. You're not going to overload him. And I really appreciate that. And what's even funnier is I didn't even think to do this. When I removed those beginning games, when I just did weeks 8 through the wild card round, so even throwing in a playoff game, when under pressure, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, within range of Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bo Nix, 634 yards, Josh Allen, 562, Patrick Mahomes, 594, Jared Goff, 519. Again, all within range here. And turnover-worthy plays, only 3. Again, bottom in the NFL. Bottom 1, 2, 3, 4 in the NFL in turnover-worthy plays. Once he started to get a lot more comfortable. Counts for something. It really does. His passer rating was top 5 in the NFL during that time under pressure. That's remarkable for a rookie quarterback. Under pressure. Rookie quarterback. Once he got just slightly settled, he was good. He was like, I got this. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix? His ranking? What do you think? I'm curious about this. Try not to get too lost in the rankings, but what do you think would be a realistic rank for him? What do you think a realistic expectation is at the end of this coming season where he should be ranked? That next year when they do this, what do you think should be realistic? I really encourage you guys to try to be as practical and realistic as you possibly can. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.